All right, so time to practice some product rule problems. So let's remember the basic formula we're looking at is if we have a function f and it's multiplied by another function g, and we know how to find the derivative of each of these things. If we want to find the derivative of their product, that's going to be f prime times g plus f times g prime. So you're switching which one gets the derivative. So the main thing about these problems is identifying your f and your g and just being careful to get those derivatives right. So with this problem, it's kind of almost done for us, right? We have f here and we have g here. And so if we want to use our formula, the first thing we have to do is f prime, which is just the derivative of x squared is 2x. And now we're going to multiply that by g. We leave g alone this time, so that's e to the 2x. And then we're going to add that to f, which is just x squared, times g prime. Now, so g prime is, this is e to the kx, so the derivative of that is k e to the kx, or 2e to the 2x. And again, this is f, and this is g prime. And so if I write all this without parentheses, like simplify it a little bit, I'm going to get 2x e to the 2x plus 2x squared e to the 2x. And if this were on a test, it's possible you would see it simplified, written with 2x, pull 2x out of each term, and then the first term, the only thing remaining will be e to the 2x. And then in this term, the only thing remaining is x e to the 2x. With the next problem, let's identify an f and g here. So I am going to pick this whole thing as f, and I'll pick this whole thing as g. So our formula, just to remind ourselves, is f prime g plus f g prime. And so we'll start with f prime, and that's going to be, we have 3 times a polynomial, right? So it's going to be, we'll keep the 3 on its own. It's a constant times something we know how to take the derivative of. And the derivative of this thing in here is 2x plus 5. Now we leave the g alone on this term. On the next term, we leave the f alone, so we'll have 3 times x squared plus 5x, and we take the derivative of the g. So 1 over x is the derivative of ln x. And we'll want to simplify this, because that's how it would show up on a multiple choice test. So we'll have, we'll probably pull out a 3 out of both terms, and then we'll be left with 2x plus 5 ln x here. And in this term, we'll be left with x squared plus 5x over x. But this simplifies a little bit, right? So we can pull an x out of each of these terms, the x squared and the 5x, and we'll be left with 3 times 2x plus 5 ln x plus, and then since we can pull an x out of each of these terms, we'll get x plus 5. Okay, so you may see it written like this, you may see it written like this. You just have to be comfortable with your algebra moving in between the different forms. Let's move on to another one where it's just the product of 2 polynomials. This is one that shows up in the homework quite frequently. And we'll label this as f. We'll label this as g. And if you're getting bored, I'd encourage you to skip to the end. This one's probably the hardest one we'll do. But if we have f and g here, again, we want f prime g plus f g prime. And so f prime is going to be 2x plus 1, and being careful to keep it inside parentheses. G, I'm just going to leave that alone for now, x to the 5th minus 2x squared plus 1. And then I will have f alone. I don't do anything to it. And g prime, so I'm just taking derivatives of polynomials, so this is going to be 5x to the 4th minus 4x. Now you could multiply this out and add it up together. I'm not going to do that here, but if you do have questions about it, I encourage you to email me.